Hi everyone. Welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and today I want to talk to you about my least favorite books of 2023. So this is kind of an uncomfortable topic. I don't normally like to go into the books that I haven't enjoyed. I read for enjoyment. I want to talk about what I like. And so anyway, I'm going to just give you, I don't know how many I have. 1, 2, like maybe 6 books that I read this year that were extremely disappointing. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So, first one. Here we go. I'm gonna take a drink. First one is I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zuzek, who wrote The Book Thief, which I did not enjoy. I know I'm a minority in that, but The Book Thief is a book I really do not like. However, one of the boxes on the summer book bingo that I did during the summer was to give an author a second chance. I found it somehow and I thought, well, I really didn't like his first, the first book that I read by him. So I guess I can give him another try. And so I did. I read it and I read the whole book because I wanted that square on my bingo board. But I shouldn't have. I'm going to read to you what I wrote down for the explanation as to why I did not like this book. Concocted, unrealistic, heavy swearing, disconnected ending. Writing feels like an experiment, short, choppy sentences. Main character is creepy, gross, manipulative, self-absorbed, and horrid. We are with a majorly egotistical and just definitely self-absorbed, definitely creepy main character. And then on top of that, to just feel like it wasn't well written, and the ending felt like it was for a completely different book. It was not good, not fun. Moving on. Next we have Keepers 6. This is by Kate Elliott, and this is fairly short. I think this one was like maybe 220, 250 pages. This was one that my fantasy forum decided to read, and I feel terrible. This was my suggestion, and it was awful, you guys. I thought that it was going to be really, it has a cool cover. It has a very cool cover. But this book was too short for what she was trying to do. Gemma said that she had read several books by Kate Elliott that she really liked, but they were full-size novels. In fact, they were quite long, she said. So maybe it's just the fact that she is not a novella writer. But anyway, it felt like she was just trying to do too much. And yet she had all of these ideas that she was trying to pack into this little book, but none of those ideas were well fleshed out. Not one of them made complete and total sense. The world building was very vague, even though you kind of figured out the world by the end of the book. It was very vague, and you really had to work to figure it out. And then there wasn't enough character work. You were not connected, not invested in a single one of the characters. It had a very convoluted storyline. It kept turning back on itself. And because of that, it was very hard to follow. And you felt like you were just dropped right into this huge story. You're dropped into the middle of it, and you should know what it is that needs to happen next. And we were lost. We just didn't have a clue. So, cool cover, and that's about all it had going for it. Next, another one that we read for our fantasy group. You guys, we have had some bombs. But this one, we all were surprised at how much of a bomb it was, because there are a lot of people that like this book. A lot of people that like this book. And we just didn't understand why it is so loved. So it has beautiful writing. I think that that's about the only thing that this one had going for it, though, is there were moments of pure brilliance in this book. And that is Tagana by Guy Gavriel Kay. I had kind of a rant about this book when I reviewed it. What was it, back in March? Was it March that we read this? I think it was. So some major pacing issues in the book. You feel like you're making some good progress, you're going along, and then you hit a brick wall. It was a hurry up and wait for a lot of the book. And there were just so many things that happened that didn't need to be in there. If it would have been the first 5 chapters and the last 5 chapters, maybe the last 2 chapters, it would have been a good book. It was so long. It had sexual situations to push the story forward. We got to the point where we were like, oh, there's a new female character. Wonder when she's going to mention sex. Wonder when she's going to have sex. It was horrible. So we weren't liking the characters or really invested in any of the characters. And then the plot was just about getting people to remember the name of a kingdom. A third of the size might have made it better. Might have. Okay. Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. This is by Yagasawa. And I had high expectations for this book. I had high expectations for all of these books, actually. I had the cover of this book is so cute. And I was in the mood for something that was cute, that was, bookshoppy, that was about a character that had books kind of change her life. And it was not. It was about a completely depressed main character who felt like life was not worth living because she couldn't find a man to complete her. And she kept falling in love with all the wrong men. Well, I have no words. It was trite. It was miserable. It was twee. It was simplified. It was a parody of caricatures. There was just no depth to it, you guys. Like, oh. I was almost depressed by the end of the book. Next, I have Patrick Rothfuss put out a book called The Narrow Road Between Desires. And I thought that it was a new installment within his series, King Killer Chronicles. It was not a new installment. It was the re-release of a story that he has already published with maybe a few additives, tag-ons. And the first time he published it, it wasn't that great of a story. And the things that he added to it didn't improve it. So I don't understand why he did that, why they did that. Does he need an editor? I don't get it. I do not understand. And he released it under a new name. It was just so disheartening. I was so disappointed. It was just fluff. It was just filler, no substance, no reason. I didn't like it. And then lastly is a book that I just read. And it is Sailing the Wine Dark Sea by Thomas Cahill. And it is why the Greeks should matter, or why the Greeks matter. And he failed miserably to prove why the Greeks matter. It was all over the place. It didn't feel like he ever completed a thought to the point of being plausible. I put maudlin, befuddled, schmaltzy. I think at the beginning he does say something about the fact that he is not an expert, that he is talking about feelings and emotions, and that he wants to get that across, but he doesn't even do that. There's absolutely nothing compelling about it. The amount of photography in the middle of the book that is just of Greek statues in erotic poses. It's kind of hilarious, especially when you're trying to say why the Greeks matter, and you have a statue that is masturbating. That, why does that matter? Why? I don't know. It just felt forced, disjointed. I wonder if, it's number 4 in a series, and I wonder if he was trying to, come up with a civilization that he could put into the series, and it was just a money maker, basically. Something that his publisher wanted, or something like that. I don't know, because I read The Desire of the Everlasting Hills by him, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. This one, not even a little. Okay. That's That's it, you guys. Those were my worst reads of 2023. I had lots of DNFs. I had a ton of DNFs, but I'm not going to go over those. These are the books that I actually read the entirety of and wish I would not have. So I really hope that this wasn't completely depressing. If you disagree with me, please let me know, because I don't mind being disagreed with. I really don't. I want somebody to tell me why they like these books. I really want to know. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.